What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing my final Raptors potential free agent target, as of course free agency opens tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So stay tuned for a ton of content tomorrow. It's going to be a very busy day on the channel, and I'm really looking forward to it. So obviously hit that thumbs up button, the like button on the video, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already done so, to stay tuned and stay up to date with the newest content on the channel. There's going to be tons of it coming up, so please do that there. But this player that I'm going to be talking about today is Delon Wright, of course, a guy who the Toronto Raptors actually drafted a little while ago. Actually, now it's been a while. In 2015, they drafted him in the first round at 20 overall. Obviously, he's up there in age. He's 30 years old, so he's not so young anymore. But he had an off year last year. He's been kind of up and down. He's been a good backup point guard in the league. So it's interesting. But of course, he left Toronto in the Marc Gasol trade, which was obviously smart by the from a Raptors standpoint, because it translated into a championship, right? It helped out to win the title, so you can't go wrong with that. But the thing I like about Delon Wright is, first of all, the Raptors, obviously they like something in him. They drafted him. They kept him for 5 years, 4 years. So they do like him. Masai likes him. Now, getting into some of his numbers, especially from this past season, he had a rough year. He averaged just 4.5 points per game, although he put up 3 rebounds with 2.5 assists per game. He didn't play many minutes, just 18 minutes a night. In 77 games, he started 8 of them, but he was efficient. He shot the ball 38% from 3, 86% from the free throw line, and 46% from the field. So he was definitely efficient. You can't take that away from him. But that was obviously an off year with the Atlanta Hawks. Now you take a look at what he did the year before. Actually 3 years before that. Really, he was actually 4 years. The 4 years before that, he averaged double digit in points per game. So he obviously had consistent seasons. Just this past year, really, he just couldn't really find his game. So hopefully he can find it again, and it'll be interesting to see how the Raptors go in this process. I would think that they sign a backup point guard at some point, whether that's Tyus Jones. I made a video on him, or if it's Delon Wright. But they do need to take a little bit of that load off of Fred VanVleet, because he has been playing a whole bunch of minutes, and that's got to come down, especially as Fred VanVleet gets a little bit older. You don't want to wear him out. We saw, he was a little bit worn down in the playoffs, so we don't want to see that again. So the Raptors do need a backup point guard, so we'll see what they ultimately decide to do. As for Delon Wright, he had a rough year, like I said, so you can't ask for too much money. Maybe a 2-year, $10 million deal, something like that. 3 years, $15 million. 3 years, $13 million, something like that. I think that would make sense for the player and the team. Maybe Delon Wright, though, goes out and he just tries to get a 1-year deal for $3 million, and he tries to prove himself, and then get 3 years, $30 million. Who knows what he decides to do? But I think for him at this point in his career, as a 30-year-old, it might be smart for him to get somewhat of a long-term deal and cash in a little bit. So we'll see what he ultimately ends up doing. But as a Raptor fan, I would love to have Delon Wright, as he did have some good seasons with the Raptors. You know what he can bring, and then he had some good seasons after being with the Raptors. So I think he would be a solid backup point guard with some experience at 30 years of age. I think it would make a lot of sense. Overall, though, you guys let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on Delon Wright. Would you bring him back to Toronto? From a Raptor standpoint, what do you think there? For me, if it's a cheap deal, I think he's a solid backup point guard. You guys let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section in terms of, term, money, all that good stuff. Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. See you guys all in the next video. And as always, let's go Raptors.